Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm really sorry that I haven't uploaded a video in the last few weeks. I took some time off to get married and then I went on a mini moon to the dreamiest Greek island. To catch you up, I got engaged back in 2020, which feels like forever ago now because I guess it was. This was during COVID and the last thing my mental health needed was to start planning a wedding. Building an online business became my next priority, and then I left the UK, making things even more complicated. So yes, it has taken me and my husband a while to finally say I do, but this summer we made it happen on our terms. And this really got me thinking, because a 5-year engagement is not really the done thing. People get engaged and then 1 or 2 years later, they're married. And of course, there's nothing wrong with this, but I do think that it's time we normalize doing things differently and on our own timelines. Drop a comment below if you agree, because this topic is extremely close to my heart, because I find it crazy how all our big milestones in life are basically dictated to us by friends, family, even social media and popular culture. Even now at 35, I still have moments where I'm asking myself, am I doing life all wrong? So I kind of went on this cathartic journey during my mini moon to figure out why so many women in their 30s and 20s, I think this really starts at age 27, why we feel so lost. And I've narrowed it down to these 5 reasons. If you're new here, hi, I'm Thalia. I'm a certified health coach and the creator of Notes by Thalia, a self-development hub for 9-to-5 girlies ready to bounce back from burnout and transform their draining job into a career they love. Every week, I share content on burnout recovery, slow living, finding joy, and career growth. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more. Okay, so I think we really need to talk about how exhausting it is that when you turn 27, suddenly everyone has an opinion on how you should be living your life. We get bombarded with constant questions like, why aren't you married yet? Shouldn't you be further along in your career by now? When are you having kids? Are you still single? You better hurry up, the clock is ticking. I mean, I'm 35 and I still get asked, when are you going to settle down, buy a house and have a child? But right now I'm happy with how my life is going. But it's like, if you're not ticking the right boxes at the right time, you're somehow failing at life. And I really think this is one of the reasons why we feel so lost. It's because we're measuring our success against social norms, what our parents did, and comparing ourselves to friends, influencers we've never even met, and even characters on TV. But what I've learned from years, and I mean years, of feeling behind in life, is that timelines are complete BS. They're based on what worked for previous generations, not what works for us now. The world has changed, the economy has changed, and our priorities are just different now. So take it from me, there really is no magical deadline that you need to hit to feel like you have your life together. Even the girlies who do look like they have their shit together don't. We're all just living life for the first time and making it up as we go along. So go at your own pace and be on your own timeline. Start by defining your own version of success. What does it look like? Because it might not be a 100k salary in a corporate job that keeps you there until the early hours of the morning, or a 2-bedroom high-rise apartment in the city. It might look very, very different to that. Burnout, my best friend, is the next biggest culprit in making us feel lost, because it doesn't just make you feel tired, it gives you brain fog to the point where you can't think straight. Even the simplest decisions feel impossible to make. When I was deep in burnout, I would wake up constantly tired no matter how much sleep I got the night before. I'd push myself through work, say yes even when I was at capacity, and then I'd go home and rot in bed. I felt guilty for not getting more done after work, but honestly, I had no energy left to give to my personal goals. Even the things that I did used to enjoy, like hobbies and fitness, started to feel like a chore. So in the end, I just didn't bother with any of it. And this is where things can get dangerous, because life just feels empty. There's no joy left. You're just coasting along on autopilot, doing things out of habit and exhaustion, not because you actually want to be doing them. And eventually you lose sight of who you are, what you're passionate about, and what you're working towards in the long run. The solution here is to follow my anti-burnout framework. I'll link the video where I break this down. But if you focus on alignment, shifting your mindset and prioritizing self-care, life feels way more fulfilling and a lot less exhausting. Which brings me to my next point, which I've definitely spoken about before. It's basically becoming my trademark now, but you need to build a career, lifestyle, and tribe that align with who you are and what you care most deeply about, aka your core values. Because if you don't, life is always going to feel like a grind. It will always feel like something is missing, no matter how hard you try to fill that empty gap with a new job, busier weekends, or plans with people you don't like. You need to stop living life on autopilot and start living life according to your values. What I mean by this is if you value creativity, but your job requires you to be knee-deep in spreadsheets all day, then look for ways either within your role or outside of it where you can be more creative. Maybe it's trying out a hobby like painting or learning how to knit. If you value adventure, but your routines are the exact same every single day, then ask yourself, how can you switch them up? How can you invite more adventure into your daily life? If you value meaningful connections, but you're hanging out with people who just don't get you, then find people who do. Join a club that you're passionate about and find your tribe. The next reason why we feel lost is down to something that we all do, putting everyone else first. People pleasing isn't just about saying yes to everything. It means building your entire life around what people want, need, and expect from you. I get that you care about your job, your colleagues, your friends, and your family. I do too, just not to the extent of sacrificing my well-being. I know that sounds really, really savage, but hear me out. I've been in the position before where I would stay late in the office because I didn't want to disappoint my boss. I'd take on extra work even when I was at capacity because I didn't want to come across as difficult. I'd even go to events that would make me feel awkward and anxious because I thought a picture would look cool on Instagram. I've even worn outfits based on what I think other people would approve of. This doesn't even scratch the surface of how I used to people please back in the day. The problem was that after years and years of living life for everyone else, I woke up one day and just didn't know who I was anymore. I'd completely lost sight of myself and couldn't describe who Thalia was beyond her job. Learning to set boundaries and be okay with disappointing people has been one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, but it's also been the most rewarding because it gave me my life back. Boundaries help take the pressure off. I no longer had to perform or pretend to be someone I wasn't in order to be liked. I got comfortable with being my true, imperfect self in public. And I'm telling you this because when you start honoring your own time, energy, and peace, when you start building that self-respect for yourself, the easier it becomes to start making decisions and choices based on what feels right for you, no one else. Because you're not trying to impress anyone else, you're being your most unapologetic self. And that is incredibly freeing. Which brings me to my next point. I see this one a lot with my clients, so drop a comment below if you also resonate because you are definitely not alone. But the reason why you feel so lost right now is because you're always chasing a better version of yourself. Years of gossip magazines tearing women's bodies apart has subconsciously told you that you're not skinny enough, beautiful enough, good enough, worthy enough. So you're constantly striving to be better, fitter, prettier, happier, healthier. But this only makes you feel more and more behind because even when you have reached your desired weight, landed your dream job, or bought your forever home, there's always going to be another goal, another milestone to hit, which feeds back into the whole "why can't I just get my shit together" narrative. But the truth is you probably do already have a lot figured out. You just can't see it yet because you're too busy focusing on what's not working rather than what is. Inner peace and happiness, these both come from self-acceptance. I have said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Self-love really is the foundation of everything. Without it, all of the healing and the mindset work you're doing, it's completely pointless. You need to be able to look at yourself in the mirror, naked, and say out loud, "I love you." Otherwise, who are you doing all of this for if it's not for yourself? You need to stop rejecting who you are underneath it all and start accepting yourself for who you are right now, even if she's messy. The first step is to break through those negative beliefs that tell you that you're not good enough, pretty enough, or worthy enough. Where did they come from? Challenge them. List down all of the ways that they're not true and build yourself back up with beliefs that are true. If you're in your 30s and watching this, then I want you to know that you are not alone. It is 100% normal to not have it all figured out yet. If the path you're on feels draining, then sit down with a notebook and journal on it. What's working, what's not, what needs to change. Don't just ignore those feelings hoping that they will disappear, because I hate to break it to you, they won't. And if you're in your mid-20s watching this, then I want you to know that you still have time. Like I said earlier, there's no magical deadline that you need to hit to feel like you have it all together. It's just a myth. Go at your own pace and be on your own timeline. Life is way more exciting that way. Thank you so much for being here and joining me today. I absolutely loved filming this one for you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you never miss an upload. And I'll see you next week-ish.